welcome back to my channel. In today's vlog, it is probably the most exciting vlog that I have ever made, and it is my first day as a stay-at-home mom. I just can't believe that this time is here. Me and my husband have worked really hard for this moment, and it is just special. So I just figured that I would document today, even though technically that I will not be home like a majority of the day. So as a first-time mom, getting out of the house has been a challenge, and it's been hard, even for just like small little tasks, but we are going to try it. I am meeting someone at Starbucks at noon, and then I have an appointment at 2:30, and then we have dinner with some friends at 6, and I'm making a dessert. Well, I mean, it's cookies, but it's still a dessert nonetheless. So I have a lot to do today, but at the same time, it will be such a good day because I get to stay home with this little girl who is such a joy. And yeah, so essentially all I did this morning was just have a slow morning. I've really been into Americanos. I have a really nice espresso machine, and so I decided to finally try out an Americano, and they are actually really good. And so I have really been missing out in life on that, and so that has been my newest obsession. And so just got to enjoy that while she slept. She's a little wiggly girl right now. Then I watered all of our plants around our house, like outside. My brother got us a palm tree for my first Mother's Day. And so just making sure that that stays alive, so pressure's on. And then I took a shower and got ready and fed this little one. And so what I'm about to do now is just have lunch, super duper quick. I have some leftover Chipotle that I'm gonna have, and quickly put on an outfit, and then out the door I go. I'm assuming we'll probably be out for the whole morning. So just figuring out the timing of that will be really tough. But you know what? Yeah, I just have to do it. What do they call it? Exposure therapy? That is literally today. So let's get our day started. I'm excited that you're here. Okay, this is the outfit of the day. I'm wearing Rolling Stones. This is like a huge oversized shirt from Altered State. I got it on sale like forever ago, and it literally goes down to like my upper thigh. And so this has been the perfect like postpartum shirt because I can get away with wearing it, you know, out in public, and it's not too tight, not too form-fitting, because when you're postpartum, that is like the last thing you want to wear. So yeah, I feel like I'm wearing the shirt too much and I'm going to start hating it, but you got to do what you got to do with what you have. So that's the plan. I just put my hair up in a claw clip for now, just because I want it out of my face, and my hair is currently drying from the shower, and so I didn't really want too many crinkles in it. But yeah, so I'm actually going to have some leftover Chipotle. We had small group here last night, and so we have a crazy amount of, not crazy, but like a lot of Chipotle left over, which is completely fine because I get to have it for lunch. Thank goodness. But our refrigerator looks absolutely insane because it's just full of Chipotle. So I'm gonna eat that. She is very content on the floor over there. And then I'm hoping to squeeze in some tummy time for her before we go. And then I think I'm going to prep her a bottle for Starbucks. She's exclusively breastfed at the moment. And I'm praying that that stays. I really, really would like to do that for about a year minimum. And so I'm just so thankful and grateful that I am just even able to do that. I know there's so many women out there who aren't able to. And so, yeah, anyways, so I'm going to prepare a bottle, maybe two, probably not two, but I plan on trying to feed her before we go and then at least have something just in case, because I'm also not there yet as a first-time mom to be able to breastfeed in public. I do not have that skill set yet. I don't have the confidence yet. I'm sure it will come, but for now, it's not my jam. And that's okay. I'll maybe get there. But I know there's people out there that, you know, have no problem with that. But for now, it's not my jam, and that's okay. But anyways, let's eat because I have to be leaving in about an hour. And I got a lot to do beforehand. Not gonna lie, this actually looks really good. I am so excited to devour this. And honestly, I could legit, this sounds so gross, but I could legit like drink their sour cream. It is so good. It's my favorite sour cream ever, but anyways, that's beside the point. I'm gonna get eaten because we gotta go. We even have the Chipotle forks because Chipotle is always better with their forks. I don't know what it is. I don't know who made that rule, but it's the truth. Yay, good girl. Good girl. You see mommy? Hi. Hi, pretty girl. Oh my goodness. Good job at tummy time. So she has been a tummy time champ. I'm actually so proud of her. She used to hate it, but now she's coming around like all babies do, I feel like. But now she's doing it without the pillow. Good girl. Yeah, let's see how long you last. As I was saying, she is a tummy time champ. I also am just kind of like conflicted of how much I want to share of her face and all of that. Like, I just feel like that's the trend and I don't want to not show her because it's trendy, but then I also like to protect her privacy. Like, I understand why people don't do it, but then, oh, she's starting to get frustrated at tummy time. Hold that thought. But anyways, I'm just conflicted because I just don't know what to do, you know? And I just want to be able to post my life and motherhood content. And, you know, just have that journey, but then at the same time I want to protect her, but then I want to have these memories. Let me turn on the light. So, I don't know. We will see. Oh, I'm out of breath. Holding a 12-pound baby up the stairs is no easy feat. Okay, we are finally out of the house. Not going to lie, the last like 40 minutes was pretty stressful because little miss wanted to be held while she napped. She went down for a nap at like low-key the worst time because we needed to get going, because kind of my plan was that I was going to feed her before we left and then have her sleep like on the way there. But no, she was really ready to go to sleep, which is fine. just a little inconvenient. So she did not want to be put down, so like and she was already wrapped up in her little Halo sleep swaddle. And so I just kept her in it and just kind of held her while I tried to do things one-handed. Because kind of the plan at that point was like, okay, well, you know, I will just have her sleep and then try to transfer her to the car seat and then feed her at the store or at Starbucks. But that didn't really work out. So none of my plans worked out, and I feel like that is literally the epitome of motherhood. Is your plans just not working out how you like, but that is okay. So now the new plan is, so I brought a bottle for her because like I said earlier, I'm not comfortable feeding her in public yet. And then I brought my pump to pump just in case, you know, if I feel really full. And it is tough when you're breastfeeding. When you give a bottle, you have to still pump. So you really don't get that big of a break. But I brought my pump just in case if I feel really full and I can't really express. So anyways, I'm hoping that she will fall asleep on the way there and then kind of stay asleep in the store. And then if she wakes up, I have some milk for her. So let's see how that works according to plan. But if not, then it's all good. We adjust and we are flexible because that's literally what motherhood is. Okay, so I just got done with Starbucks and I'm at my appointment. We will see how long she lasts back there without the car moving. She did pretty good in Starbucks overall. She did have a screaming fit, which as a first-time mom, that can kind of be a little terrifying, but thankfully it was pretty empty and like, you know, people were kind about it, but at the same time, it's still hard to not control the situation or not being able to control because she's her own human. And you can't necessarily control a screaming child. But thankfully she was just a little tired and then she went to sleep. But then I fed her in the back of the car and changed her, which was the first time I did that in my car. So that was an experience. But yeah, now we'll see how long or how well she does at the appointment. It typically lasts about an hour, so thankfully it's not too long, but she's definitely due for like a solid nap, and I'm hoping that she gets one when we get home. But overall the day is going well and I'm not overwhelmed, which is good. I think I might try to pump when I get home just to make sure that like my flow, or just to keep everything up. I think that's the hardest part about breastfeeding so far, is you don't necessarily get a break whenever you give bottles and stuff like that, but that's okay. Okay, I just got done with my appointment and it went very well. And now I am finally heading home for the day. Well, for a couple hours. And little miss is asleep in the back. And she did really well at the appointment. She literally just sat in her car seat and just stared at her hands and just kind of kept herself busy, which I was kind of thankful for. But then at the last moment, the last minute or so, she kind of lost it, which is fine because I was heading out anyways. And I'm going to try to transfer her into her crib we'll see about that. And then I'm actually going to get some stuff done around the house. I have legit been unable to get anything done, which is okay because the house is already kind of clean anyways. So I don't have to do too much. So just kind of like a quick tidy. And then I'm probably going to start on the cookies. What time is it? Maybe in about an hour, hour and a half. We'll see. I kind of like to do them a little closer to when I have to leave, or a little closer to when I want them or need them done, just because there's nothing better than like that fresh, gooey cookie. I'm not like a hard cookie type of person. But anyways, I will see y'all when I get home. Okay, so I just got home and little miss literally just woke up in her car seat. So I am going to try my best to transfer her into her crib and try to finish out her nap. And then we also got a new mattress box spring in the mail because we found out that there is mold in our wooden slats. So my husband also started to kind of feel a little weird because of it. So we decided to just bite the bullet and buy a new one. And so obviously we're not going to build that today, but I just got that in. And I'm honestly surprised that it's not in a massive box, but that's aside the point. But anyways, let's try to put her back in her crib and see if she actually will take a nap in her crib. And hopefully it's a good one. So her car seat transition was unsuccessful because she literally woke up the second I picked up her car seat from the floor. Which is totally fine because then I ended up changing her diaper and then feeding her. It was time for another feed. And so now I'm just going to try to lay her down and hopefully she's able to sleep at least for a little bit. Time is now starting to get away from me, and so I'm just a little nervous, and I would just feel like that has been the hardest thing of motherhood so far, is just trying to time everything out. And I'm pretty sure that I've mentioned that earlier, but just, I'm no longer going on my schedule, and she doesn't really have a schedule, but she has needs that need tended to at that moment. And so just trying to figure all of that out, and that's totally okay. I think it's definitely harder when you have days like today that are fairly busy. Actually, I wouldn't even say that it's fairly busy. It is a busy day, and just trying to drag her along is hard. But especially when routines get thrown off, because I wouldn't necessarily say she's on a schedule, but more so a fluid routine, and so it's kind of been a little hard today, but that's okay. But overall, I feel like motherhood has definitely calmed me in the best of ways. And it has made me a more calm person, a less stressful person, and a less anxious person, which is just so fascinating to me, because I feel like if you have a right, if there is a right to be stressed or anxious during any time, I feel like it is now. But I also feel like my time working with kids has definitely helped that, because I mean, I couldn't imagine hearing a baby make a certain noise and thinking like, oh my gosh, what in the world? But, you know, I'm thankful for the knowledge that babies make really weird noises, and they do all sorts of things. And so I'm just grateful for that. But yeah, it's just interesting, and I'm just so thankful for this, because beforehand, you know, I was a stressed and anxious person, and I'm not to say that I never do, because there are times that I get stressed or anxious, but overall, it has definitely cleared my mind. But yeah, motherhood has just been a grateful journey, and I'm grateful to be here. I know a lot of people don't get to be here, and yeah, I would say that it is definitely hard not having family here. I am grateful that they are able to visit a lot more. My family now lives 8 hours away from us. And so I'm definitely more limited in the things that I can do and be involved in. But at the same time, even though it's really hard that I miss out on certain things, this is where I'm supposed to be, and she needs me and I'm her world. And those things can wait, you know. Those times there will be other times and opportunities, but I will never be able to get this time back, and I'm just grateful. So it's definitely a mind shift change, but they're only little for so long. So anyways, I'm going to try to transition her to her crib. Normally for her naps, she sleeps in a bassinet in our room currently, and then for her naps she sleeps in her crib, unless we're like out and about. She will sleep in her car seat, you know, if we're driving or if I'm baby wearing, but we do try to have her naps in the crib, just so then she's used to it. And thankfully she didn't really have a transition, but today she just seems to want to be held during her naps, which is totally fine. But it always seems like babies know that you need to do things or get things done, because they try to stop you in your tracks and stop and tend to them. So she's been wanting contact naps, like I said, which is totally fine, because if that's what she wants, then that's what she wants. So we will see if I can make the transition, but for now we will rock. Okay, so she's down for her nap, and now I am going to make my favorite cookie recipe. So I'm going to put my hair up, wash my hands, and get started, because we're running out of time. So let's get started. Okay, so I prepped all of my ingredients first. She's making a noise on the monitor. But anyways, so this recipe is literally super easy. So first I'm going to melt my butter, and then it's 1 1/2 cup, a cup and a half of flour, 1/4 cup brown sugar, 1/2 cup regular sugar, which I have a little less than that, so I kind of did a heaping cup of, or 1/4 cup of brown sugar to hopefully balance that out. And then like a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 egg, a teaspoon of vanilla, but like literally who follows the directions on that? And then 1 egg and chocolate chips. So I have I can't remember if I mentioned it, but I have my oven preheating to 350. And yes, so I'm going to get started on melting this. And then I'm going to combine the sugars, the butter, get that all creamy, and then add the egg and the vanilla. So let's get started. We're finally on our way to dinner. We're running very late. The AC's blasting, but you know what? It's all gonna be good.
God is good.
God is good. So we just got home. It's literally past 10 o'clock. So I am exhausted. And so all I'm gonna do now is try to feed her. She fell asleep on the way home. So just try to feed her and then put her in her nighttime jams. And then we will be off to bed. Hopefully she has a good night. I feel like she might sleep good, considering she did not have the greatest sleep today. But sleep begets sleep, I feel like. So we'll see. But anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope that you liked it. And don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.